Dang it. We got talking. I didn't get to finish my back strap. Benny, what you been doing this week? Look, I already showed these guys. I'm scripted. I got date, times. I even typed it on my 1950-something Remington Monarch typewriter. Because I cleaned it today, so I had to type something on it.
I think I'm getting the cooties, but I've been replacing water lines still. We got all the line in, but now I got to put in a pressure gauge and start paying attention and writing it down so that if it comes down to a fight, I got it all.
Is it windy over there?
Yes. It's bad windy.
It's been a nice couple days. We got the snow, got windy. These elk aren't doing crap. They're not doing crap. My wife left Saturday, I think, and then she got back today. So, and my allergies, I got a shot Tuesday. Most times when I get a shot, if I do, I usually just hang it out, and I knew I wasn't going to hang it out this time. It was just, you've seen these cedars just blowing off, the
Oh yeah,
powder just blowing off. So, but it's been 7 days and I was still clogged up. And then this afternoon, I don't know, I could breathe somewhat. So I'm hoping that shot kicked in. My cousin's wife last year and whenever said it took 2 weeks. She called down and was like, "Hey, did you guys give me the right stuff?" And then this year he said before she got home, it kicked in. I'm like, dang, maybe it's because of my extremely tight buttocks. My muscles are just holding it in. No?
This is supposed to be a family-friendly show, Chris.
Yeah. No need to talk about the prison wallet.
It'd only be unfriendly if I stood up and showed you. So, but they're home now, and I had stuff going on. I chopped her some wood, and she's like, "Oh, are we going out?" I'm like, "Dang!" So we just went out for a couple hours. So got back, nothing. They're not moving. Elks aren't moving at all. So yeah, that's what I did. What about you, Mr. Winner Chicken Dinner? Robert?
I've just been well, I got all my GPS and stuff on Monday. Dustin sent it right out. It showed up quick.
Yeah. Well, speaking of wait.
Oh, my screen's doing weird stuff. There we go.
There he is. Just talking Dustin. About you.
Yeah.
He's frozen.
He's frozen.
Yeah, he already froze up on us.
I got them sensors out feeling.
Just talking about you.
Yeah. No, he sent it right out. It showed up. I can't wait to use it. I've been busy getting ready to go back to work.
What do you usually have? What do you have?
I had the 200i, and actually just in the last 2 weeks, the power button kind of took a crap on it, and it just turned itself off, and you could never count on it turning back on again.
Yeah. Can they? I wonder if they can. You send that to Garmin, and they'll fix that.
Yeah,
they can. Yeah, I mean they'll charge you for it, depending on how old it is. I'm sure it's not under warranty. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I've had it for I don't know, a year and a half maybe. But that, and it's a 200, so that charging port, I mean, sucks.
What? Oh, I have a 200, but my daughter swiped it. I bought the 203 callers for $1,000 from a guy.
Oh yeah.
They text you and they're like, "Hey, what is this worth?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. 300s are out now, I guess." I said, "How much you trying to get out of it?" He goes, "I don't know, maybe 1,000." Zelle.
Yep.
I called Cody Lynn. "Hey, run over there real quick and pick that up now." Yeah. Which was a mistake because I lost the $1,000 and the collars and
She
$200
did
anyway.
right.
Yeah, she kept
Yeah.
it. She ain't.
Oh yeah, she did.
Oh yeah.
She thinks everything that's mine is hers, and everything that hers is hers.
That's kids, bud. That's
the way it
kids.
works.
Yep.
But for being a good dad, Chris. See, my
That's
dad's a shitbox. He ain't got nothing I want, so I can't steal nothing from him.
Well,
hell,
it's a get out of jail free card when I'm going through town too fast.
that's what you think. I hope she.
Oh, yeah,
throws the
exactly.
book at you.
Uh-huh.
She's
I
gonna
told
she's gonna-
yeah.
she's gonna go live the first time she gets to write you a ticket.
Yeah.
Oh
I-
yeah. Yeah.
I
She's,
hope.
gonna,
I hope she does.
she's probably gonna be. You know what's funny? My whole life, my kids just hated me when they would if they caught me over here by my house pulled over, and I get home, they're laughing at me. Hey, what'd you get? And I said, oh, I got this, and I hold up a bag of jerky. She's like, what? I said, yeah, the guy makes jerky, and he wanted me to try some out, and I'm gonna bring him some milk to see if he try it out. She's like, oh, that's bullshit. What were you doing? I said, I don't know, like I was in my 80 Toyota, but I guess it does 65. I didn't know in a like 50-mile-an-hour zone.
Right.
But I kind of knew that cop. You know, I know him. He's a sheriff. He was the one that showed up when I had a native girl run out in the middle of the road because some guys were trying to rape her. And then me and another Mexican dude that showed up, the guy pulled up in a minivan, and we went over there, and he wasn't going to go nowhere. You know, and I was just like, when we walked up to him, and this Mexican dude was big. His arm's as big as my leg. I'm like, yeah, I'm tougher now. So we go over there, and he pulls up, and it was a native guy, and he was toasted. She said there was 3 of them, but there was only one in this van, and she said they had a gun, whatever. Oh man, it reeked like alcohol. And first thing I'm like, I gotta get it in park, or I'm gonna probably go for a ride. But he pulls up and he puts it in park, so I'm like, oh, check. And then here's the funny thing: it was my ex-wife. We were on our way to the movies, and I literally was like, oh shoot, you got your pistol? She's like, no. I'm all, because I was in her truck. I'm all, what's gonna happen? What could happen when you don't bring your pistol? Yeah. 4 miles later, girl runs out in the middle of the road, 15-year-old girl, you know. So then I'm like, all right, I got to get the vehicle off now. And he reaches down and he turns it off. And I'm all, dang, check. There's, my other checklist. I said, I just got to get those keys now. And I said, hey, your grandma still working down there in Tucson? And he's all confused, like, what? And I just kind of reached in and grabbed the keys. And he said, I know what's going on. I said, not yet you don't. Not yet you don't. And that cop showed up. You know, someone called 911. Oh, the lady. This 15-year-old native girl runs out in the middle of the road. People go around her and keep going. Like she had pissed her pants. She's bloody. Like been wrestling. And so we pulled over and we put her in the back seat. You know, my ex-wife was like, oh, calm down, and I'm like, what happened? I'm like, you got to tell me what happened. Some hillbilly chick pulls up and gets a hatchet out, comes over, is like, what's going on? Hey, I don't know. I'm trying to find out, but she just seen us like throw a girl in the truck, I guess. Then the Mexican dude stopped by, and that's when that all happened. But that cop showed up. And he walks over there and he like yells at me. He's like, you got that guy, Chris? And I said, yeah. It's the same guy that pulled me over and gave me jerky. And so he gets the story and then comes back, opens that door. And I'm talking, this guy's about a 300-pound dude, this native guy. And he grabs that guy out and he slams him on the ground. I mean, slams him on the ground and handcuffs him. And throws him against the minivan. He goes, you got this guy? I said, yeah, we got him right here. As soon as that cop walked away, that old native started calling that Mexican the S word, rhymes with tick. Yep. And I said, hey man, I said that S word right there's arms are bigger than your legs. And that Mexican guy looked at me like, dang, man, did you just call me the S word? But yeah, it was pretty crazy. The only time in my whole entire life I didn't have nothing. I didn't have my knife. Like you got all dressed up, get in her vehicle. My vehicle right now, I like just now I'm like, oh, do I got a pistol in here? And I have to dig under seats and find one of my Glocks, and then I think oh wait, I do got a Glock. I have my tactical vest in there. Well, it might be in my I don't know. I always have something. So in my vehicles, I jumped in hers and she didn't have her pistol, I didn't have my pistol. So I mean, when you don't, when you're not armed, like you have to, you have to become bigger, like meaner. Like I know I'm not even gonna pistol. You can point at somebody like get on the ground. Well, if not, you just gotta punch them first. And I didn't have my brass knuckles. I didn't have nothing. Couldn't even stab them with my utility knife. But yeah. Then she rode with the
Chris,
girl to the hospital.
you had a big Mexican. What else do you need?
I did have a big Mexican. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like that cartoon with the big bulldog and the little chihuahua jumps on his back and forth.
Yeah. Hey,
So,
Spike.
yeah.
I don't like I don't mean to be like to sound racist, but there is nothing scarier than a big Mexican other than a big Tongan. I dealt with some Tongans growing up, and those
Mhm.
boys do not care. Them big
Yeah.
Tongans, them big Islander boys, they scared the shit out of you.
Man, that reminds me of back in the day I was kind of it didn't matter what girl. And I was in the military and we were in our AIT. And there was this Hawaiian girl. God, she was pretty. So pretty. So anyways, I wasn't as strong as an oak. And but her husband shows up during graduation, for the graduation. Biggest god dang Samoan ever seen in my life. I would have rather fought the Rock Dwayne Johnson than this guy. And I'm like, man, please don't be honest. Please don't wait till you get back to Hawaii or wherever you're from and be honest. So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep. But it didn't
Yeah.
stop me. It didn't stop me. I still did stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She
we
was
all
in
do.
with you. So you had females in your AIT.
Yeah, there was
I bet that was handy. We ain't had none
well,
of that.
I was a 63 Sierra, which is a mechanic. So
Yeah, heavy wheel.
yeah, but we only had one girl in our unit, and that was Dolliver, and we were like best buddies. And she was short haired. I thought she might be a lesbian, whatever. But where they missed, I don't know why they do this. The 71 Limas were in the building next to us, and that's all the paper pushers, and it's all the girls. And if you got caught on the first floor was for the girls, the rest with guys. And if you got caught on that first floor, you wore a dress for the week. And let me tell you,
You
old
got pretty
Dolliver.
good wearing dresses.
Oh man, and old Dolliver come in drunk one night, and she was slobbering drunk, and I'm like, hey man, you got to get into your. She couldn't even walk hardly, and man, I was trying to take her over there, and she's like kissing on my neck, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna get busted in here, and I get her in her cot, trying to get her in her cot, and here comes night watch. Here comes the sergeant on duty. I'm hiding under the bed, and she's like reaching under, trying to grab me, and I'm like smacking her hand. It was like a movie, dude. I knew I was dead, like I was done. And that guy just walked on by, and as soon as I was gone, I took off upstairs. I said, "You can come upstairs if you want, but I'm not getting caught down here." Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tell you what, that last comment from Mr. Anderson is probably the
Oh,
best comment I have
shoot.
ever seen on one of your lives. That
Comment.
I'm with you. That one's yep. I'm with you.
Oh, hey, let me. Hey, listen, man. I've known some black grandmas, and you do not want to
Oh,
f with
they.
them.
I have heard a black grandma, I swear, tell her grandkid, I will slap the black out of you and make you white. And that is the best comment I have ever heard in public.
No, that's a
I
fact.
will slap the black out of you. And that's
Yep.
a Southern grandma there that they don't care.
Yes, deep south.
I had a black buddy in high school named Billy. I watched his grandmama try to beat the black out of him one day. A tobacco stick. Y'all know what a tobacco stick is?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So she got a tobacco stick running that boy in a circle. 15 minutes beating him hard at him 6'2", and she is an old little woman just whack, whack, whack.
I tell you what though, I wish a lot more of that would happen. Not just in the South, everywhere. I think we need to go back to the days when kids got their ass whipped and make them go pick their own switch.
Oh man, I remember my dad always gave me choices. Kind of like, oh, listen, you have two choices. You want to go? It's the weekend. I'm already in trouble. He says, you can either take a whipping or not go out. I said, I'll take a whipping. He says, I'll go get a switch. And I thought I was smart. I went out and got me a little skinny switch. He ain't going to hurt. And I broke it. You know what happened? That son of a gun wrapped around my legs, and he knew it, and he let me have it. But I god dang went out that night. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
See, I got different choices. You can take it or I'm gonna give it to you.
I'm Arizona, guys. Everybody was like, time change. I'm on. What are you talking about?
I had to remind him of it today that the daylight savings was Sunday. He's like, when is it? I was like, it was Sunday, but
Jared
Those
called me
Arizona
too.
people don't know.
No, we don't know. And Jared was like, hey, what time is it? He tried to call me as I was hunting, and then he's like, what time is it at? I'm like, 6, man. But I don't know if if he's on Nevada time, he should be same time as us now. I don't know where he's at.
Jared lives on his own timeline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we said. We said, I don't know what he's worried about. He don't make it on time any other time anyways.
It don't matter if it's at 6 or 7 or 5. Jared ain't on time.
And we're going to talk about you, Madison.
Ooh, is
Vinny's
that
little
her
friend.
right there? There we go.
You are going to be, and we'll explain it here in a little bit, our guinea pig.
Ooh.
Yep. And Wayne, her father, said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, you got to watch the show.
Yeah, I seen he's here. Well,
He's here.
Yep. Oh, and they're coming to Arizona. They're about to be some Arizonans.
Are they? What part?
Yucca, over in that area, Wickham or
Kingman.
wherever, Kingman.
Kingman, over towards Wickenburg,
What?
Kingman area, huh?
What? You know what? Hey, Wayne, send me her number. I thought she had my number. Send her my number because she needs to get on. She's going to get on here in a little bit.
Yeah, we need before you send anyone's number, we need parental consent from Wayne.
That's what Wayne don't care. He
I'll-
probably
I'll
wants
give
it.
it.
He wants us
Hey.
to.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just text it to me.
No, I'll give you consent.
Oh,
Oh,
it is Benny's
Yeah.
little friend.
it is. That's the name.
I got
I
her
hadn't
back.
even, y'all been trailing any? I hadn't even trailed elk. I'm telling you, it snowed, and man, I went out this morning, and I knew it was gonna melt quick, you know. And them elk aren't moving.
You didn't
Them elk
get
aren't
much up
moving.
there, huh? Nothing.
Yeah.
Not a ton of snow up that way.
What's that noise? Is
I
that
don't
Robert?
know.
I think that's Robert.
Let me fix
Yeah,
it.
that's Robert. Sounds
God,
like
he's
old
got it.
Shiloh up.
He's got his mucklucks on.
It's the
Snow.
car.
Damn snow hunters.
It hooked to the car.
And then Dustin's
said
been getting a
you
lot
were
of
elk hunting.
what is it?
Said you were out there elk snow hunting.
Oh yeah.
I know, and I
The
felt
picture.
I felt as worthless as a lion hunter in the snow.
Oh
Right.
well.
I just trying to start a fight, guys. I'm just
Or-
kidding, Rick. Everybody.
I probably trailed more than everybody. I trailed 3,000 feet of water line.
Ugh.
Oof.
That
Yeah.
don't sound like fun.
No, that's
Yeah,
a
it's
rough
not.
day. You got a leak going on.
Who's
Benny,
that?
Get it figured out.
Yeah, we bypassed
Wow.
it.
A day late and $1 short. There he is.
I heard you guys talking shit.
And he's eating. He's not even ready to talk. He's still.
He was
stuffing his
trying to
face.
hurry. He was trying to hurry and eat before he got on, and he heard us talking crap. I
Yeah.
bet you Sarah's like, just go get on.
She's tired of him. She wants somebody else to deal with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the true story right there.
I'm telling you what, me and her, we could be good friends just because we like to pick on Jared.
I don't know, man. She don't like Whataburger.
Yeah, you know,
No, I like
I've only ate at Whataburger once in Texas, and it ain't all it's cracked up to be. So,
That's
You
because it's in
son of a
Texas.
gun.
'Cause it's in
Hey.
Texas.
hey, a good homemade burger will beat that stuff any day.
Hey, I
That's
just-
all I was saying.
My wife was gone, so I took the bear meat out. She's not a big, like, she'll eat bear meat and certain stuff.
Dude,
but I took-
nobody's a fan of 15-year-old bear meat.
No,
Just
this is fresh stuff.
No.
Thank you for saying that out loud.
No, this was
there,
fresh.
bro. There is
Shut
nothing.
up, Robert.
fresh
You
about-
ate it.
There is nothing fresh about anything.
Everybody
you
ate
cook.
it.
Tacos
Nothing
were good. Yeah.
fresh.
No, I swear it's from this year, last year. But
It was reopened this year. I swear.
Mm-hmm.
no, it's hamburger. So I made some burgers. I made some bear burgers. That's what I ate
Dude,
for
I-
3 days.
Dude, I seen him open them jars up
Hey.
at the rendezvous, and it was like kicking the dust off. Got to shake it to make it look normal, kind of stuff. Before he poured it out.
It's all you gotta do is listen for the. That's it. If it does that, you're golden.
Oh, dude, it was like a. It was.
No, it said. I'm good as long as it sucks that air back in. I'll eat it.
Yeah. I mean, no one died. That's for sure.
No one died.
No,
No one died.
I
No,
thought they were pretty good tacos.
hey, I'm not saying they weren't good. I'm just saying the aftermath sometimes can be a little rough.
Listen, I don't guarantee. I only warranty before it goes in the mouth. Anything that comes after that is your guys' problem. It's not my fault. You got wimpy stomachs.
Yeah.
So have you got some kind of a contract with the colonoscopy doctors?
Yes, I do. And I sell baby wipes there for $1 a piece. Next to anybody.
He made $10,000 on them.
Yep. Yep.
So why do you think Jared walks so many miles and don't look like he gains any pounds? He's been
That's
eating
true.
Chris's bear meat. That
Yep.
shit's like a tapeworm in Africa.
Yeah.
I vacuum seal him, so when he goes out, he just eats one. That keeps him walking.
I can
Just
see
don't
that.
stop. What you been doing, Jared?
Hey,
Been doing anything? Hunting? Anything? Catching
Hunting.
lion?
hunting and working, not catching, trailing, but not catching. We got our butts spanked on Tuesday.
Hmm. happened?
We trailed till almost dark, and we got her jumped right before dark, and it didn't work out.
Nah.
One of them deals.
How's Tex doing?
Pretty good. His nose was cherry red, lips were raw. No, he did good.
Doing his job then.
Yeah. No, he's doing what he's meant to do.
I picked on black and tans a little on TikTok, and Jared
You
got
did.
offended.
Oh yeah, he did.
He got
I
offended.
seen that.
I feel like this is personal, is what he said.
Yep. Yep. And then it became personal.
yeah, it did real fast.
Yep.
Yeah, Jared's a lot of them dogs.
I do.
So I got.
Hey,
I'll throw a question Jared's way. Sorry, Benny, didn't mean to
no, you good.
cut you there. So a lot of these old guys, not old guys, but people say, I mean, you hunt the heat, you hunt
It's
the
like-
dirt. Do you see a difference between a lighter colored dog versus a dark colored dog when it comes to the heat?
No.
No.
Okay. Because I've
Mm.
heard it both ways, and I've seen some of it too, seen some of it not, but definitely I think the heat can affect a darker colored dog, but I think it's also on the dog, on what he's got in him too. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
like horses, a white horse, you can't have them out in the sun.
Well, I mean, depending on,
Like a pell.
I don't know. I've just heard a lot of people say this is just coming from the grapevine, not from me. Just that some of them black dogs, especially them darker blue ticks or a black and tan, that sometimes the hotter heat can affect them more
Well,
than it can some of these lighter colored dogs.
these
I think
black and tans, I mean, getting from my buddy,
Mhm.
he hunted. He's been I don't know how long he's had this line, 10, 12 years, maybe longer, probably longer. He hunted Arizona year round when the season was still year round.
Yeah.
And he hunted the devil's armpit.
And that's why I asked the question I did, is because I know where the dog came from. I know where you hunt. I mean, you might not hunt the devil's armpit. You sure hunt the devil's ass crack. But just that's why it was something I
They just you can hunt those dogs hard, get tans, and I could have walker. My walkers that I have right now. And I had walkers for shoot since I started. And I have been hunting not successfully in the dirt from the beginning, but I've been hunting the dirt since the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought I had good tough walker dogs when I lived in Nevada, hunted in Nevada. And then I came down here and started buying these black and tans, and I was like, wow, okay, maybe I need to rethink some things.
And
I think it's
definitely,
just,
I think. No, go ahead, Benny. I won't cut you
I was just
again.
gonna say, I think it's just like us. It's conditioning.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can take any dog and you bring them from up there and just like go over there to Colorado and hunt with our buddy Robert there, and then take that very same dog down on the desert and watch the difference in their performance, or vice versa. Take Jared's dogs up there and hunt them above 10,000 feet and see the difference. It's just conditioning.
I think it has a lot to do with the breeding too, because like my lab, I pulled him out of Kalispell, pulled him down here, and 3 days later, caught one in the dirt down here in early September. I think it's something just like some people can deal with cold better than others or whatever. I think it just, I don't know, something with the individual or the bloodline. I think has a lot to do with it.
And with what Derek said, the bloodline and where the bloodline comes from and where they're raised. Jared's getting dogs from someone that hunts the same kind of terrain, the same country, the same conditions that he does. He's not buying a black and tan from Indiana that's coon lines. No, he's buying from the same kind
Dry
of
ground.
source that he hunts, plain and simple. So that line is more conditioned to what he's after versus someone that's from South Carolina, North Carolina, anything like that. Not doesn't matter what state, just something back east that's whole different world than what we're after. But I was just curious where he gets dogs from kind of a different people, has some walkers, has a few things that if he had noticed a difference between the lighter colored dogs versus the dark dogs. And someone made a comment about, lighter colored claws versus dark
Pads.
claws.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard that as well, but I have a dog that has kind of like merled feet that has half white, half black. That is the toughest son of a bitch you will ever be around. He doesn't have straight black. Some claws are white, some are black, and he is tough. Like that dog has nothing but straight heart, and his feet are freaking iron.
They say that about horses too. White hooves
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
and it's all, I shouldn't say it's like wise tales. It's just experience from people before us, but not all of it is 100% law. And so I like to
It's
talk
wives' tales.
on the fine lines. Yeah, like I like to talk about that and see everyone's experiences.
It's just
So
wives' tales. You were right, Chris. It's wives' tales.
Yeah.
I think
Because
so too.
I've ridden when I was over there out of New River helping those guys hunt and work cows. They had a whole remuda of yellow horses that all had white feet, and they were just as tough as anything else that I'd ever been around. It's just everything that we're talking about is individual.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think the line matters when it comes to heart. Plain and simple. You can have a litter from some of the best dogs or some of the worst dogs, but heart it is hard to breed for, if that I think makes sense. I think that's very, very an individual trait, if that makes sense, Benny.
Oh
I
yeah.
would almost devil's advocate that though, and say that if you look at some lines of dogs, like currently or historically, that just reproduce their like over and over and over again. Like you look at that Willie dog from back east has 8 pups in the world hunt. You got to be a double pup sucker to get there. In the top 6 or top 24. Or rodeo's got a pup winning somewhere, everywhere, all the time. And it's. I think out west, I think we're probably 25 years behind the breeding of the eastern guys. They've just got it to a science. You can
You're
laugh
ki-
at
you're killing me. You're killing me.
I'm gonna
Benny,
stay out of this one.
you can't point. There's nobody out here that's like a Randy Smith, or that's like the
E-
Wipeout boy. Like there's
Expound on that a little
so
more as far as what you
this
mean,
guy.
because
So you got
most
a guy
people
that
don't know those names.
turns out a guy that can turn out 100 pups, and they're going to be in the top 1,000 dogs in the country, every single one of them, or nearly.
Okay,
What are
but
you hunting?
let me expound on that for just splitting hairs reason. You're talking about guys that are in the coon world, and it's a competition coon world, right?
And I
Okay.
would say that's
So
the hardest thing to get a dog to do.
they're breeding for speed.
And
They're
accuracy.
breeding speed and accuracy, but they're also not breeding for a cold nose. They're breeding for a hot nose, plain a warmer nose, plain and
Yep.
simple, right?
Yep.
So to run a 500-yard track, accuracy to a tree does not take heart. I'm not
No.
being rude.
No,
Heart,
not for one track. But
heart
to run
takes
that dog as fast as he can run for
yes.
90 minutes.
Okay.
And then 2 hours later, do it again. And then tomorrow, do it again. And then haul him 1,000 miles and do it again. And do that every weekend
That's
for 3 years.
consistency. That's not heart. That's consistency. Heart is a dog that cold trails a lion or a bear for 5 hours and then is going to run that jump bear for the next 10 miles and never quit until I pull his ass off of it. Something that he cannot physically, that bear is not going to stop. That bear doesn't matter. Unless he's got 10 of him, he cannot catch that bear. You can cold trail or even just normal trail that bear for 3 or 4 hours. You get him jumped and that bear is not going to climb. Heart is different than consistency, and what Benny's going to get after is you can't compare. You cannot compare a coon dog for competition versus a dirt lion or a bear dog, because it's splitting hairs in opposite. And to say the genetics are behind, it's a whole different world, because you've bred for speed and nose versus accuracy and things.
What I mean when I say we're behind out west is that they can reliably produce what they're looking for more frequently and more broadly than we can.
Oh no, there's guys out west that can produce bangers for dogs.
But almost everybody back east has a good one.
Okay, but I don't want to sound
It's because it's easier.
I don't want to. Yeah, all right, Chris. I'm getting there. I don't want to
there
sound
ain't a
rude.
dog in the state of Arizona that can do it.
But we don't have coons. There ain't a
to
dog
run-
in the state of Arkansas that can run the
to-
lion.
to run a hot track 500 yards.
Not better than the dogs that could. There's dogs that didn't get in.
But
That,
we
that
don't.
you could I couldn't take my dogs and compete. They're just not there. They're too dependent on each other. They don't have the speed. They're not accurate enough, and they don't stick one fast enough. They want to hem haul around and boo hoo for 10 days.
I think if we're talking about coon dogs, I think you're right.
I think if we're talking about any dog, like I would venture to say, like, you hear stories of dogs back in the old days, and our dogs now are not better. That's not the case back east where they're hunting raccoons or hunting bears and the Virginias. The dogs we have now are on a whole nother level from the dogs that we had 50 years ago. And that game, our game hasn't progressed.
Do you think it's
You don't know the right people.
Not a game?
Well, here it is. What did Rick just say?
You don't know the right people. That's all.
Well, I'm saying that if there's a select guy or two here and there, but everybody, the whole breed has advanced in the East, and that hasn't done that here, is what I'm saying.
No, so in the East, you guys share pups, right?
As far as breeding and
breeding, lineage,
you don't just cut them so no one
pups.
else gets your line.
It's all recorded. It's stud fees. It's all on paper.
That's why I think we need a registry.
But now, what Jared's getting after, and I'll let him finish. But what Jared's getting out here is guys back here have been doing it for so many years with no records that if they kept records, would completely blow your mind.
So I think Rick's agreeing a little bit with Derek, because he said the best dogs in the county are competition dogs. I hate to say it, literally millions. And he said, you're wrong. The best bloodlines in the world are in competition dogs. I don't necessarily, the best bloodlines in the world for coons.
Yes. No, look at Dale Lee's stories. He gets a Finley River dog out here and just hammer struck them with it.
That was Warner Glenn. Come on now.
Or Warner Glenn, whatever. Like, okay, even better.
You're gonna jump
more
on
modern
Derek like a piranha.
Even better. Warner Glenn, who everybody is on a pedestal. Warner Glenn's a gangster. Like Warner Glenn gets a Finley River Walker dog, a competition coonhound, and comes out here and shit wrecks stuff with it. You know, I guarantee you that if
that's what he did. Guess what he did with that Finley River dog?
He took his
bred
stuff
the nose out of his dog.
Yep,
he did. Plain and simple. You go back and you read it. It took the nose out of his cold, dry ground dogs.
I don't dissuade that at all. The whole thing. I'm not saying we need to take and buy coon dogs and get rid of all the dogs we have. I'm saying we would take a leaf out of the Eastern book.
We could
make better dogs for the task at hand, is what I'm saying.
But at the same point, all these competition dogs are paper dogs. And I feel personally, this is me, y'all can tell me but you miss you miss good breedings when you rely on something that has to be papered walker to walker, blue tick to blue tick.
They don't do that anymore.
And
in the big world hunts, bullshit.
Yeah. Country Club is crossbred as fuck, and that dog's got like $55,000 one.
I agree with you. There is that crossbred, but the big stuff, they all claim papers. This dog to this dog, this dog to this dog. Some of the best crosses are this blue tick to this goofy looking walker, this black and tan to this, and I think a lot of great dogs could be made, which is what some of the West has done, because we don't worry about the papers as much as we worry about the ability.
I think you could go to every state, and every state would have that argument for the other state.
Chris is
Those
right.
guys are behind. Those guys are behind.
Yeah, not to fault Derek too, because Derek comes from a whole different world than the rest of us four. So he sees it different. He's seen that part that we haven't seen. So for us, it's an uneducated world. He's diving into our educated world, and like we're uneducated when it comes to where Derek comes from.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know nothing about
But-
coon
Yeah.
dogs or
I-
UKC or
I spent an-
AKC.
I spent an hour on the phone with a guy from Texas that runs competition coon hunts. I asked him, I was like, explain it to me. And he said from my experience, the fault with competition coon dogs, and this is coming from him, not from me, is that people have bred so much for speed. And I'm not saying accuracy is a bad thing. Accuracy is great. But he said they've bred so much for speed and a hot nose that those dogs will run over an hour-old track to run a 10-minute-old track. And out here, that's not going to fly.
We don't
And-
have a 10-minute-old track. We
Oh,
have day-old.
Damn, I
days.
wish I would.
Yeah.
And
You
so
know,
I don't think
but-
you can compare east to west in that.
I'm not
scenario.
comparing individual dogs. I'm not saying
no.
their dogs are better than our
with
dogs.
you.
I'm saying
You're
that
talking about
the-
their system.
The
the- yeah,
breeders.
the
She's
way-
talking about
the-
breeders.
the
Right,
breeding. The way Randy Smith breeds his
Well,
dogs.
this
If
is-
we
this
had a
is
guy like
another-
that out here, we
This
would
is
have
a-
a home in the cow.
You made
This
Benny
is
pull out
another
his papers.
This is another huge thing in the West. So I was looking for a dog, and I'm calling Benny every other day, going through people's names and that stuff. And a guy came
I-
up.
Back to this shit. The Eastern guys ain't got nothing on some of us for breeding.
But I
It's
called
just
Benny.
it's just not logged clear back in a system. It's in our houses, right?
It's in a
Benny?
notebook.
Yeah,
It's in
absolutely.
a notebook. It's
But
in
then everybody's so stingy. They want it's mine. Because nobody out here seems to care what. It's not like there's no it's all like these are my dogs. You can't buy no amount of money can buy a dog if they don't know your mama's cousin's best friend
So-
or something.
Yeah.
and that's
Well, I was
that's
just
the
getting there.
difference, Derek, is
That-
they're
that's an
accurate for themselves versus my dog has this many pups out there. They've made this much money in the world. To us, it's more of a my dogs can accomplish this with a lion, can accomplish this with a bear.
Yeah.
I don't want my neighbor next door to have that ability. I don't
Yes.
want the guy in the next county to have it. I won't sell a pup in state. It has to be out of state for me to sell it because I don't want the competition in my backyard. And that's a little different in the coon world.
Yeah,
I'm still
it's
trying to
totally-
understand that with me growing my business. I've really tried to dive into that and understand that side of it. And it's been educational and also like humble at times too. I've really enjoyed it.
It's a thing that like you don't care if your other guy has the best dog in the country. You sell him your second best dog if you don't want him because you don't want to beat him because his dog he didn't have access to the good dog. You want to beat him because you and your dog were better that day.
Yeah, and and that's where I find coon hunting versus lion and bear is very, very different. Is everybody wants to go to the competition against the best dog, whereas if I go on the mountains down by Jared, I don't want him to have my dogs to compete with me. Hell no. I want my dogs that I know are good to compete with whatever he has. I don't want to sell him what I've got. And that's kind of a little bit of the West mentality. Not everyone. I can't speak for everyone. I just a little bit there. So
I
Well,
think
I got
I get what he's saying. Listen to Jared. Jared just went through all this looking for a dog. Go, Jared.
So
And then
I
we'll let
called
Benny chime in and destroy us all.
yeah.
I
So-
called Benny. This is just piggybacking on what everything you guys just said. I called Benny. I was like, "Hey, what about this guy?" And he's all, "You can't afford him, and he ain't gonna sell you one." He's all, "He sold a pup more than what your price limit was."
Yep.
So you're
It's
not
hard.
gonna get that out west. They are literally like, I have a buddy with some Hendrix blood. He ain't gonna give me a pup.
Nope.
He ain't gonna give me his call. It's just how it is. No one,
Yeah.
like what Derek said, or not Derek, what Dustin said. I don't want you in my backyard with my dogs, with my line of dogs.
I don't want that competition.
Yeah.
Because we're not
we don't have
competing.
the game they got back east.
Well,
Yeah,
we
we're
don't.
not-
Yeah,
we're not
we
in
don't have 300 coons or
Yeah.
400 coons per acre.
Yeah,
we
That's where
got
I was
six.
going.
We got 6, 7 lions in a mountain range.
And so the
And that's only
competition-
today, not
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the competition is not for who has the best dog that can do it fastest. The competition is for the game. And back east, there's enough game that's not the competition, if that makes sense. That's what I was trying to say in a nutshell, that I'm really horrible at explaining.
And
Benny,
that, you know, this guy Rick
Give us
is
what
like,
you got.
go ahead, Benny. Well, Rick said you keep breeding within your kennel, you're not going to get any better. I don't
Absolutely.
necessarily believe that, but I think you can only breed so far before you start getting
You got to
3 feet, 8
You
paws.
have to outcross, but I mean, the only one in this group of ours that is talking that shouldn't have to worry about not having the best dogs is Benny. He's been doing it longer than I've been around. Now, me only being in the game 10 years, I thought my walkers, when I first had them, were the best thing since sliced bread. And then I started getting serious in the dry ground world, and I started getting these black and tans and this dog I just picked up from Texas. And yeah, they're level 4. They can catch dirt lions, but they're not that level 5 that I didn't even knew existed for a level.
Even the good guys, like wherever you got your dog from, some of the best guys I know in the dirt will make an outcross. One, because they need to, because we don't need dogs with 6 toes.
I've been trying for 2 noses.
And you don't need brindle dogs neither.
But they will make an outcross, because one, if you line breed for so long, sometimes these guys are going to have more trail-minded dogs. They've been breeding for the cold nose, the trail. They've been breeding for the track dog for so long that sometimes they lose a little tree, or sometimes they lose a little bit of that ability to drift that track. And so they are going to make an outcross. Plain and simple. I mean, if you breed your own line of dogs for 60 years, you're going to have to bring something in to make it so they don't end up all like Chris with 10 toes and 18 fingers.
Well, that's where I'm at now. That's why I took one of Jared's dogs.
So exactly. Like outcrosses are great. I mean, and I think
I have a question.
Holy shit, he raised his hand. That was weird.
He's back in school.
So
You have to on this conversation.
You have 60 years. You have 60 years of your own blood or your own breeding. How many times would you outcross in that?
I bet you quite a bit.
I can't say it because I'm not there. Benny, you have more experience.
Benny, you have the floor.
Benny, you have the age and the experience that the rest of us are waiting to get.
You know, first of all, let me say that I laughed when you said that, Derek, because that's a pretty generalized statement. And you can't compare completely different ends of the spectrum and say that they're not equal, because it just depends on where you go and who you know. You know, there are people that have their pure focus is on having the best dogs possible. In my world, I left the bear hunting behind. Snow is too cold for me. It makes me uncomfortable. So I focused, and it's also the biggest challenge that I could come up with, to have hounds that consistently caught lions without the aid of moisture. And I've always lived for a challenge. And so I went rocking along with mediocre dogs for a long time. I saw good dogs. I just didn't spend the money on good dogs.
But they were doing
And
you good at the time.
they were doing me good because I
You
was
didn't know no
mediocre.
better. Mhm.
Yeah, well, I knew better, but I mean, I thought, well, I don't have 6 days a week to go hunting all the time. But at some point, mediocre wasn't good enough. And so I sought out better dogs, better lines of dogs. And I got the gift of gab, and I'm full of shit. So I can get into somebody's kitchen and eat their ice cream, and they'll thank me for it. So in that realm, I got to get into this circle of bloodlines that not everybody gets to. And there are people out there that have some of those bloodlines, and they won't help anybody else. If they sell a dog, they will not sell an intact dog because they're so damn superior and special. To me, that's just chicken shit. Either
Yeah.
you're going to help somebody or you're not. That's the way I see it. Now, I had top-notch dogs. I had top-notch breeders. I had, and a guy that gave me a pup when I was getting started again. He sent a message, hey, will Benny let me breed to some of his dogs? Well, yeah. I mean, if I didn't get help, I got help from Larry Hendricks. Um, I got help from Justin Marks. I got help from Brian Jennings. I got help from all these guys. And then if I didn't get dogs, I got input from Steve Smith and uh, Bill Workman and a bunch of these guys that aren't even here anymore. And help is help in my world. Now, as far as whether or not we're behind in the breeding of dogs, it depends on the circle you're in. And I get what you're saying, that everybody has all the same kind of dogs, but where there's 100,000 damn raccoons in a county versus 20 lions in a county, you're
It's
not
hard.
going to get the same kind of, like Dustin was saying, the competition is too stiff. So do I
It's
want somebody going out there where I'm going to hunt with the same caliber of dogs and clean the mountainside out where I don't have any place to hunt? Or, it's just, it's a lot of it is a very personal thing. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, it's
there
like
are
feet.
people that,
It's just like feet.
yeah,
Some people don't like
absolutely.
white feet.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And I've had one registered dog in my life, and that was, shit, I don't know, that was in the mid 80s. And she was a good dog. But I quit focusing on what the paper said and started looking into where the dog came from. And I've always said, to get the very best dog for what you want to do, you find somebody that hunts the same conditions as you and you try to get a dog from them. The same game and the same conditions. Now, I talked to Wayne Bisbee on the phone, and he's not used to our attitude in the Southwest. You know, the game is game, kind of like bone pile. Well, his dog's allowed to catch whatever the hell. My dogs didn't acknowledge anything except the mountain lion, or they got lit up. They got spanked and they said, hey, knock it off. And once I quit hunting bear, I guess it had been 25, 30 years since I ever hunted a bear. My dogs, I could walk right through a bear pile and they wouldn't even look at them. And so it just depends on what you want and what you're doing. But the breeding and the genetics are there, just not like you're saying it because the game is so different.
Well, and
I would argue that if
I'll let
if
Derek.
everybody had the same dogs out here, it would be the same as it is back east. Because just because you got the dog, don't mean you're the handler. Don't mean you hunt enough. You got to hunt 6, 7 nights a week to be in that. To be a John Strickland or a Dual Murphy or a Kevin Cable. Those top 20, 30 guys in the world. It's the same out here. There's 20, 30 guys that are better than everybody else. But I wonder, is it?
It's not because of the dog though.
It's
But
Handler.
you can't say
It's-
that and then say only these guys have the good dogs. You know what I
Well,
mean?
those the great guys do have the good dogs, but guess what? Also, the great
They
guys
have
also
time.
have
They have the time.
knowledge.
knowledge
They
and
make a
time.
lose.
Yeah.
Time.
They make a lose on a lion track, and they're like, "I've been here before, and 4 out of 10 times he goes to that rock cropping. I'm gonna go to that rock cropping."
Yeah.
Or
My,
And
my whole thing is that if we had advanced the breeding in the West like they did back east, that everybody the access to a good dog would be a lot nicer for a younger person, for example. Getting in, if
well,
you're an 18, 20-year-old trying to get into this, you can't get a good dog
so
unless you got an uncle or a daddy.
can I say
Not without
something
money.
there?
Go
Like
for it.
not. I'm not trying to discord what he's saying because I think Derek kind of has some right points, but it's the money aspect that someone brought up in their comment before is out west. It's turned into, and nothing against it because I participate in it. It's turned into a guide and outfitters game. Whereas in Benny's day, yes, they were guides and outfitters, but nobody.
Oh, he froze up on us.
Dang it!
Well,
Right to the good part.
I just paused
sorry.
him.
There he is.
I'm getting
Go
there.
ahead.
Sorry. So back in when Benny was hunting, it was all about just taking care of animals or like depredation animals. They were hunting animals that were killing livestock. They were just hunting to hunt.
They were hunting
Nowadays,
off a buggy and a horse.
nowadays everybody, and not being rude, but everybody now out west hunts for money. That lion is worth this much to my outfitter. That bear is worth this much to my outfitter. Whereas coon guys, that coon ain't worth nothing. So they're gonna leave it in a tree. They're not gonna kill it.
That dog's worth something. New
That dog's
truck,
worth something to us.
$100,000 pot. Do you think if
exactly.
we had that competition for lions, if we had that competition for lions or bears,
tree and
then we
free,
would be where he's saying.
and that's what I was trying to get across. As far as out west, it's not the dog is worth money, yes, but the game and the ability to be able to hunt the game as much as you can and develop that is a different story.
Freeze.
Goes up again.
His internet sucks tonight.
Anyways, so
there we go.
I don't know what's going on, but and that's what I'm trying to get across is to me, if I don't know Jared and I aren't friends and we live in the same town, I want to have better dogs than Jared. So when his dogs can't finish that track, I can go finish it. Plain and simple. Why? Because my client's going to get that lion. I'm going to get paid the $6,000. Jared's not. Whereas if I'm out east hunting with you, you hunt that coon and you catch it, guess what? I'm going to go catch another coon that's close by. And so it's
Froze up again.
Just hold. Just hold.
This time he's praying.
gosh. So it's not the money of the dog, it's the money of the game that we're pursuing that's changed it. If that's what I am trying to say, and that's what's making the breeding different. As far as, you know what, the guy that catches 70 dirt lions a year is not going to sell you that dog because he doesn't want you to take away from his livelihood and be able to compete with him. Whereas back east, it's the guy that can put in the time and everything else. You know what I mean? And I can't say that, I haven't coon hunted back east. I've coon hunted out here just for fun. And I
coon hunted in South Dakota when I lived there.
Where I used to live, I could go catch 5 coons a night and I didn't care. I'd kill the first one and I'd leave the last 4 in the tree. Plain and simple. Like I just, from people I've talked to, I know how populated they are versus out here. You could go catch 10 coons in a night and have a great night. Might have a couple slick trees, might have a den tree, plain and simple. But us, we're talking 1 lion a day.
Well, and how many?
Even in
On a
southeast
good day.
Indiana and southern Michigan in a coon zoo, right? There's still boys, tons of boys go out just like me hunting lions here. Gonna go out all night long and catch nothing.
And that's where we're uneducated versus you, and that's why we can only speak on what we know. I'm not trying to project. It's
that's
just
what I was
that's
saying.
what I know.
A lot of guys with world
do they come
champion.
home empty?
What's that?
How many days in a row do they come home with nothing? Not a coon in a tree.
It just depends.
Yeah.
Some people don't catch nothing. Like some people don't catch nothing. I knew a neighbor kid that lived by me years ago, and he didn't catch a coon all year.
Is that okay? Is that because of the handler and the dog then at that point?
Yeah, it's handler error is what it is. You don't know how to train a pup. You don't know how to
Well,
train a pup. You know what I mean?
I'm just gonna say this and then I'm out. A lot of it comes to dog. 50% dog, 50% handler, wherever you live. If you don't have a combination of both, you're shit out of luck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me say there's one thing that
What
these well,
what
there's
did he
just
say? Weed.
one more wait, there's one thing that the guys with the top dry ground lion bloodlines have.
No.
When before they're willing to get rid of a dog, they interview the person that the dog's going to go to, because it's not about where you're going to hunt, it's about how the dog is going to live.
Yeah.
Dickerson said that, when that buddy of mine, Wesley, I put him in touch with Dickerson, and Dickerson met him on the side of the highway. He didn't even let Wesley see the dog. He talked to Wesley first before he decided he was going to let Wesley see the dog. And this was an 8-9-year-old dog that was on the tail end of her life. But Dickerson raised that dog from a pup, spent every day with that dog, and he wanted to make sure that that dog was going to be treated correctly and get the opportunity to hunt.
Well, why
All right,
is it David or Dustin Weed?
It's
Which one is it?
Dustin Weed. It's Dustin Weed.
Okay,
Dustin
tell
Weed.
me.
All right.
And he's
Somebody-
at $2 million lifetime, not $2 million last year.
Tell
And
me though.
I would say
why?
it's a bold statement to put a just in front of professional handler and talking about Dustin Weed. He is.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, I don't think he's hunting them. He's just handling it. Look, he's
he
not
hunts. He hunts.
owning
He'll
them,
take
right?
a dog. No, he don't own him because he can't
Yeah.
afford him. It's $100,000 dog. The guy hires him. He takes the dog to his house. That's how it works. You live with this dog however long you're hunting it. You have it at your house. You take care of it. He hunts every night. Weed hunts every night.
That's
Which is
no
awesome.
different than a guide that is out hunting, making money.
Yep.
Justin's making money on
Yep.
being a dog handler, not an owner, a dog handler.
Well, isn't there guys out west that do that? They train dogs for other guys, and
Yeah, for $400 a month.
So,
Yeah,
so
$400,
there's
$500.
there's
$2
guys
million in his
that
lifetime.
don't. There's guys that don't even own dogs. All they do is hunt dogs for other people, and that's their job.
And
'Cause they're good
Weed
handlers.
won that money. He don't get paid a salary. He won all that. That's his win.
Which is freaking awesome. Like I say, I'm just getting into learning about this competition world, and a lot of it's blown my mind. But I've also heard the competition guys say what they think has hurt the breeding of the dog over the years, if that makes sense too. So this is coming from competition tune guys, not me. Like they think that it has hurt the nose, not so much the speed and the accuracy, but has drawn away from the nose of the hound versus other things. Like they don't breed for the nose versus they breed for the.
There it goes again.
Suspense. It's always suspense with him.
it is.
I don't think he's freezing up. I think he's doing it on purpose. He's just freezing himself.
I don't know how to do that on purpose. I'm less
We're gonna
tech
see him
savvy than you.
Break his computer here in a minute.
But like I've learned so much talking to some of these guys, and really their biggest complaint is that the dogs now have lost the ability. The competition coon dogs, not saying everything, have lost the cold nose because they breed so much for a hot nose and accuracy versus what the hound was known for back in the day of the cold nose being able to trail an old thing and find it, if that makes sense. Now they just want a dog they want a dog that will haul ass through the woods, hit a hot track tree. That's what they want, plain and simple. And they want it to be accurate with a coon in it. And I understand that. Out west, that's a whole different world. We don't want that.
That guy, that Dustin Weed is no different than a guy painting cars. A guy that loves to paint cars. Let's take a pinstriper. You seen these guys that are pinstripers? Freehand pinstripers?
I got pinstripes for days, bud. Rocky Mountain ones.
Yeah,
Got
I
them
got
mountains
pinstripes too.
inside.
But those guys enjoy doing that, and they do it every day, and they perfect it, just like these dog handlers. They wake
Kids.
up and make your dog look good because they look good. They
So
enjoy it, just like Jared enjoys going and chasing lions and wearing out his shoes that are
I
crappy.
don't know.
Oh,
Talking
yeah,
to him,
pretty
I don't know if he enjoys it. I think he just does it. He
It's
complains
Jared's.
a lot. Yeah.
Maybe his
Yeah.
wife kicks him out of the house, and that's the only place he has
Get
to
out of my
go.
face. Get out of the
Bye,
house.
Jared. Now go.
Now I have
Yeah.
another dumb question. Since we talked about what ruined, or not ruined, but slowed down, or some people don't like for the East Coast, what ruined Western hound breeding? Because I mean, I've seen some dogs where
Well,
I've just been like,
I got a hot
why
take on
did you
this.
make that?
hey, let
cross?
me answer Rick's question real quick.
Let's do it.
What you guys think is no coons are a lot of coons.
Yeah.
Because Arizona, I don't know about New Mexico, Arizona, I know where I've treed 8 coons before in a tree, but I don't have feeders. I have people in Oklahoma sending me pictures of their feeders that have 30, 40 coons on it. That is a lot of coons in my book.
Well, what like Chris is
And
saying,
we have
we're
no
just going
water.
off. No, we've just going off.
Oh,
Well,
dang
there he
it.
goes again.
Dang it,
Where's
Jared.
Rick from? Where's Rick from?
Rick,
Cooley,
where are you
Kentucky.
from? Pennsylvania?
He's Kentucky.
Or India? Is that what it
Kentucky?
is? Kentucky.
Okay, so Rick, the coon hunting in like Pontotoc, Mississippi makes this place, like compared to here, makes Pontotoc, Mississippi look like Southern Michigan or like, like Southern Illinois. Like it's, I mean, the roughest piece of like Eastern Kentucky you got is a coon zoo compared to this. There ain't no coons here. Even when you go where there are coons, I'm telling you, I turned a
Let-
pretty good coon dog out in there and
Let
just
me
bad. We had to go a mile to get anything.
let me
And
set
it's-
up what would be a beautiful scenario, and I would love to record it. I would love to
Lord.
take those competition coon, just take one of those guys and let him go run with a lion guy, and then take that lion guy, not his dogs, just the guy, just to follow him, and take that lion guy, send him back east or wherever they do that stuff, and let him just run with him. And I'd love to sit down and talk to them about what they think about how they hunt.
I mean,
Well,
Compare
I-
what's
I would
similar,
would love it.
compare what's not similar.
From
I-
from seeing both worlds of it, I will say that I hate cold trailing anything. I don't like it. That's why I'm completely okay with. I know I make loses and they blow off and find something else to chase, and I caught 2 all year, and that's okay. You know, because if I caught 2 and Jared caught 50, I'd feel like maybe I need to do something different. Or if you guys all caught 35 this year, and I was like, okay, this idea is not working, but I'm okay with it because we're moving. You know,
Yeah.
I can't. I hate that 1 mile and 1 hour deal. And I would think that the coon hunter is going to be bored once other than it's amazing, it's really cool and it's really awesome. He would get bored if you did it for very long. And then the lion hunter is just going to stand there and talk about how easy it is to tree coons.
I've coon hunted in
I've
South
heard that from
Dakota.
everybody.
I hate drops.
I'm getting sick of my internet.
I'd much
Anyways,
rather dogs work on the
Well,
way.
I
What-
coon hunt in South Dakota. I hate drops. You sit there, you drop dogs, you go through, and you don't see nothing. Like you see a little bit of working, but mainly it's just South Dakota, dude. Like I hunted 3 days back when I lived out there with my buddy's dogs, and we hunted for 3 nights and we caught 37 coons. It was just bam, 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 and it's a drop. Sometimes, he's looking at his handheld, and it was dog 600 yards out, and we just coast the truck down the tree belt and stop and listen and what have you. But that's my only coon experience. Coon hunting, I love it, kind of, not really, but yeah. Lion hunting compared to coon hunting, absolutely. Just because
Yeah.
I don't like the drops. I can't see what's going on. I miss everything because it's pitch black. And the dog's, because when you guys drop, the dog's gone. You're not following him looking for a track.
No, there's nothing
He's
better.
out there covering 30, 40 acres in 7 minutes.
I don't think
And
there's
that's
nothing
my
better
dog-
than sitting
That's what
back.
my dogs. That's what my dogs do here, though. I can't keep up with them. They leave me like they're late for work, and they're going to eat this. They're going to eat this 500 acres up before I can even get across this bottom. You know.
Yep.
And it's a whole
Which-
different terrain.
and that's
Whole
that's
different
that's
terrain, Becky.
well.
Oh, just
He,
answer the
he
phone.
breathes every time he talks. Poor fella.
Listen,
You know, I see Benny like this. You know, the hard part is you can't compare a damn banana to a frickin' apple. Plain and simple.
Well, here's your apple. Here's
That's
your
it.
apple
I'm done.
right there. There it
You
is.
can't compare it. You can't.
There's Mr. Coon Hunter Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy, help me. They're ganged up on me.
Oh,
Help him, Jeremy.
you can't call him a coon hunter and have an Arizona picture.
Uh-oh, you're
in his
quiet,
background.
Jeremy.
Oh
You're
no,
muted.
I hunt snow and he puts sand in my pictures.
That's an Arizona
me?
background. He can't call him a coon hunter.
Well,
That's 'cause
Jeremy's
all we've got is
experienced
water.
both ways.
I just like for me, and I'll let I want to hear Jeremy's take, but you can't compare East Coast to West Coast. You can't compare game to game. You can't compare dog to dog on those games because it's different trailing conditions. It's different game. They act different. It's different handlers, and it's meant for different reasons.
I was comparing breeding programs to breeding programs. The breed
But at
as a
the
whole.
same point, you almost can't compare that because you're breeding for different things. You're
I would say
for
you
different
can.
styles of dogs. You're breeding for competition. You're breeding for fast nose. You're breeding for cold
But-
nose. You're
but how-
breeding
but
for
you get
endurance.
this-
You're breeding for speed. Not the same.
I know I'm not. I feel like, I don't know. To me, it sounds like when you say things like that, it's just, well, I don't understand, because I'm not talking about this dog versus this dog being one better than the other. I'm saying they have
No.
advanced the Eastern breed to get a higher percentage of success than what we've got out here.
You know
Is
why
Is that
is?
because they're tighter woven back there? We're not tight woven over here.
No, it's
That-
because
that doesn't mean
backyard
that it's
breeding
They
not
don't
advanced.
care. They don't care what they breed to.
Yeah.
backyard breeding.
I can take both of my gyps and go breed to any dog in the country for a price tag. They don't care if she trees a coon or not.
Yep.
But I'm breeding to this dog because he's won $100,000. Well, that dog's going to sell these puppies, so they're going to get in as many hands as I can get them in. Plus, I get a puppy out of it. So that's how they've. I'm gonna use Derek's terminology because I don't necessarily agree with the breeding program here, but that's how they got that advanced breeding, because they don't care. And they are getting more and more into the crossbred stuff, because a lot of these big winning dogs are crossbred dogs. They just got papers to prove where they came from. That's the only difference. But I was raised up on old track
So
straddlers that, would go all night running a track, and you were
Can I
lucky to
ask,
get a tree.
can I ask a question then? So
Yeah.
these dogs that are like at Autumn Oaks or some of the bigger hunts, I'm sorry, I don't know them. Do they not have to be a purebred, purple ribbon bred walker to win?
Well,
Or
see,
blue
both
tick.
UKC and PKC, and I think AKC, all have crossbred dogs as a particular breed.
So I didn't know that, and it's part of
Yeah.
my problem for being uneducated. I thought they had to be a straight up papered walker, straight up papered blue tick to win, like Autumn Oaks or things like that.
They
I'm
just have
just-
to be registered in whatever kennel club that hunts
Okay.
being put on by. Like, say, PKC, for instance, you can still single register a dog.
Mhm.
So if you've got a
I
UKC
can register
registered
it.
dog, then you can register it in PKC and compete in PKC hunts. And I
And-
want to say AKC may do it for the coonhound program, but I'm not 100%.
I think they do. And it don't even got to be a UKC dog. I can take my blue bitch out of the house, single register in the PKC because she has hound traits, and I can go compete for 100,000 with her if I want to. And I ain't going to, but
Now,
you could.
now has the AKC, all those stuff, haven't they become a little bit more lenient on their breeding? I don't know,
Not
but
the big-
I've heard. I do
Well,
like our
here's my-
Labradors. I'm
here's
just saying
my
our
theory.
Labradors.
You take
know.
that, for instance. You take a Labrador Retriever, AKC. All right. That's one of the biggest breeds in the world as far as everybody's got one. They have ruined that breed. You got hip dysplasia, eye problems. Well, the coon hog, they're kind of getting that way too. And I used to cringe every time I see a new AKC registered breed of hunting dog because they're just fixing to ruin it.
Mhm.
You take the Belgian Malinois,
Yep.
police military dog. Now everybody's got one.
Yeah.
Not everybody needs one because they're crazy as hell. I've had 2 of them.
It's like a Queensland healer. I'm not comparing them. I'm saying a Queensland healer. If you get a Queensland, everybody's like, "Oh, it's so cute," but they're ADHD, and you have to pet them every time you walk by, or they'll bite you. Like that's
They're
just
like
how
Benny.
it is.
But no, I've got 3 walker dogs. My male dog, I just absolutely hate hunting him because he's going to run a mile, going to pass up coons my other 2 dogs are treeing before he ever starts hunting. And then you might go into that den or slick tree, just because he's so hot nosed.
He just wipe out dog.
Yeah.
That's what I was. So that's what I was trying to get after earlier with some of the coon dog breeding, and I'm not going after all of them. It's just my experience from talking to people on the phone, not me, but they've bred for that hot nosed dog that will pass up this track and this track to hit the quick one and tree fast, and that's where I'm not being rude, and maybe I'm a piece of shit for this. But I think you are taking away from the hound when you take away the ability to trail something that's older,
I
because
agree.
that is what a true characteristic of a hound is the nose. And when you take away that colder nose, you're going away from a true hound. That's what I was trying to get at in a nutshell. And Jeremy brought it out in me. He brought some words that I wasn't ready to say earlier. And that's what I was trying to say is I think sometimes when people breed just paper to paper for the name versus good producing dog to good producing dog for a true hound characteristic, but also at the same point, that guy that competition hunts, the guy that competition hunts doesn't need that. So that's not what he's breeding for. Versus if I'm going to breed a dog to something Jared has, I want Jared to breed his best, cold-nosed, dirtiest trailing bitch to my good, dirty, cold-nosed male because it has a chance of producing something the same. And that's where it's hard to compare east to west, game to game. Like there's so many variables in the hound world that we're never going to agree, plain and simple, because there's nose, there's game, there's ability, there's handler, and there's terrain. You can't compare breeding program to breeding program because of those 5 variabilities, plain and simple. Good dogs are good dogs no matter where they're from because of the environment they've been exposed to and the game they've been exposed to. But you take one of those straight awesome $100,000 coon dogs, you bring him out here and run him in the dirt, he's going to look stupid. Not being rude because he's a great dog.
I look stupid in the water.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, they're dogs. They're just like we are.
I think that we're not advancing the breed as fast as and maybe because we don't got the measuring stick. That could be that.
But I don't want to be rude, but I think that's degrading the breed because you're not breeding for the true hound characteristics of a good scent nose.
But you don't need a cold nose in Indiana. It's a waste. You tree 110, 90, 138, And if you're hunting for
they're
money,
breeding for the competition. They're breeding for a 2-hour hunt.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and that's what I'm trying to say is you
What
can't
Dustin-
compare an apple. You can't compare an apple to an orange when we are breeding for cold nose and you're breeding for a hot nose. Why would you say that has advanced when we are?
We would see it as regressed.
What
Yeah,
I'm saying
we
is
see
they have
that.
got. What I'm saying is they've got
I see
better
that
at
as a
getting the result they want, and we haven't. Like we're not
Because it's easier.
catching more.
because
It's
easier. A warm
It's
nose
easier to
hound,
get a faster, more accurate dog than it is to get a colder, more accurate dog. I don't
Yeah.
understand
I would
why.
say
Why?
How-
Why is it? Are you?
a
So-
warm nosed dog is more common than a cold nosed dog.
Because they made it. They made, but it's not just a
Because you
hot
made
nose.
it that way. It is.
But that's
But-
why it's more common because it was on purpose. Because when I was a kid, they were track for track all night long. I mean, I grew up in a blue tick kennel, and we wasn't hammering them out like they do now, and not like those wipeout dogs that were winning 6-8 years ago, running through there, blowing it down like Little Money and stuff like that. Those dogs aren't winning anymore. You can't pass coons now. You pass up a coon now, you've lost.
Okay.
But-
I
but
understand
Out
that.
here, I wonder if there's a way that we could advance what we need, not to get to
I
what
think-
they.
Have Derek. I
been
think there's a
advancing
few
that.
guys that have.
But I mean, it's always like I don't mean a few guys. I mean everybody.
You
Like,
I don't think there's enough
you will
lion
not
hunters.
get everybody to have level 5 dogs.
No,
For
there's
one,
not enough
but-
people here. There's
Well,
not
no,
enough
not
lions
even
to do that.
not
It takes
even
a-
that.
It takes the hunter to get a level 5 dog because they're not
Okay.
born level 5 dogs.
So,
But
but that's what we're getting at. So
what Jared's
you have
saying
to.
is look at the number of coon hunters back east versus the number of lion hunters. You
And-
are
but-
10-1.
Of course. And I think
But-
we're driving more guys away though with that holding it close, making it so hard. It's already
Well, let
hard.
me
But now you can't
answer
get
that.
a dog, you know.
Let me answer on that. Is that's a good thing to weed those guys out because I think a lot of guys watch these videos or watch this social media, and they think it's real easy. They think it's easy, like Robert's how he hunts. It's really easy.
Well,
but
well, Chris, like not to
you
be
don't
rude,
understand
but-
though? Doesn't that
but-
weed them
but-
out?
It is
Derek,
easy if you hunt like Chris.
Hold on. I don't want to be rude, but a prime example, and just because I know his story, Derek, you
Yeah.
came from back east. You thought the dirt game was going to be easy.
I
Was
did.
it?
No, it's hard.
Was it?
And then I couldn't
But-
get like good dogs. I got Eastern dogs. I couldn't.
And
get
that's
them.
Because they're bred different.
And I'm not disregarding that because yes, out west can be very. If you don't know the right guy, it is hard to get a well-bred dirt pup, but also time
It's
spent
expensive to get
and money, time spent, and experience can make a big play, and it's hard to get both of those. Most guys cannot spend 5 days a week in the woods trailing a lion that they're not gonna catch. We're not all Jared.
It's Jared. Just Jared.
I love calling Jared out just because he's like, "What the hell, dude?"
But he's using black and tan.
Well,
What do
you guys.
expect?
So I was
but I'm
homeless
just-
for a year.
He
and a
ain't got
half
but one.
training
I
dogs.
didn't see but one. He had two
So I
Walker
was-
dogs in the mix.
Dustin.
Yeah. Oh, screenshot. Damn it.
Jared loves hunting so much he will work and he will hunt. There is nothing in between.
Work?
Plain and simple.
He won't work to hunt.
Yeah,
that's
he'll call in sick.
the only reason he works is because if he doesn't bring home money, Sarah's gonna kick his ass. Anyways,
That's true.
like Jared. Jared truly loves to hunt. So any minute he's not working, he is going to hunt. He's going to spend time with those dogs. He's going to trail. He knows he's going to trail a track he's not going to catch, and that is okay with him. Like, does he want to catch? Yes. But the trailing aspect and watching those dogs work is what gives him what he needs from his dogs, plain and simple. And I'll let him go right there.
And it wasn't easy
So-
for him to get the dog
No.
he has now.
So my first dog I bought out of Battleground, Washington. went homeless for a year and a half. Got evicted because my dog wouldn't shut up. And then went homeless for a year and a half, trained that dog, and did day work welding on irrigation pipe for money. Did that
Oh,
for a
here we
year and
go.
a half.
Gonna start a welding show.
Yeah,
No.
there goes
And
again.
then
Son of a
went
bitch.
to Nevada.
What?
Went to
Robert,
Nevada,
you-
bartended. I lion hunted for a year and a half in the snow and didn't catch anything besides one bobcat, and my dog left it because he got bored before I could get there.
Been there.
You know. So then I go to Nevada.
Definitely not.
My first winter, I catch 2 lions in the snow in Nevada. And then people in that area in Western Nevada, in that sheep country where I was living, because I was chasing the construction boom in Reno, not a lot of people were catching over there. It was just me and another guy. So he hooked up with me. This is where the good dog thing starts coming in. So then the next year, I hunted all summer. Well, guess what happens when you hunt all summer? You know their crossings, the scratching points, everything. So when the snow comes, I am stepping over everyone. I am
Education.
going to now. I know where they're crossing. I had trail cameras set up everywhere. I had dates, times, everything on scratch points, when they cross roads, everything. I'd had it on notebook. I was a crackhead. And so when the snow came, I stomped everyone out during that time. Just because of hunting year round in the dirt. And then you're catching lions. And
Stomped
then
out the tracks too.
Well, yeah. You got to do that.
He's got
But
a limb
then-
he carries behind him and brushes them out.
Come out.
But then you're catching lions and people are noticing you're catching lions. That's when, hey, come try my dog. And that guy's better than me. Or you have a guy that knows a guy that says, hey, this kid's hunting the dirt year round and he's struggling, but he hunts hard. Give him a started dog for cheap. Or one of your, not your top dogs, maybe your fourth, maybe one of your pack dogs, but can trail in the dirt. And then you just start growing from there. And then you start catching in the dirt. And then people start saying, like, okay, I'm not gonna sell him. I can sell him a dog now because I know he's gonna do it right and catch in the dirt and hunt hard. But to get there, it took years before I could get a foothold and into anything good. I mean, my Walker dogs, don't get me wrong, they were phenomenal dogs, but it took me forever to get them to catch one in the dirt. I mean, when did I catch my first lion in the dirt? 2017? When did we start dating? 2018 is when I caught my first lion in the dirt.
Oh, she sounds like she's your good luck charm.
She was
Sounds
there.
like she's the first cougar.
She's just the brains. She's the brains of the operation.
And the money.
Absolutely. And my first dirt lion was a joke. My buddy's pointer brought back a rabbit head still bleeding from the face. And the dogs blew up, went half a mile and treed. It wasn't like we cold trailed anything, but it got the ball rolling.
There's nothing like the first, plain and simple.
Yes. Absolutely. Oh, when you're wearing a t-shirt and you catch a lion in a t-shirt, that's all you want to do from that point on. You know,
Yeah,
the chaining up all 4 truck tires and driving around in 4 low, that goes
I
away
hated
really quick.
I hated the snow. I tried it once, didn't like it.
Yeah.
That's that guy over there.
yeah, the snow's good.
Hey,
I'm gonna answer that
get-
fellow's question.
But to get your good dogs, like the good pups you want,
Mhm.
you have to show everyone that you're worth getting a good pup to get the good pup.
I mean, I feel like I haven't done bad this year. I've done all
You
right.
haven't done bad. You haven't done bad.
no,
Not saying you
and that's
have.
the thing. You're putting in the time. You're trying, and you get there.
Things just have to fall into place.
And I agree. I agree with Rick's comment there. You can have a hot or cold nose, but if you don't have brains, it definitely makes it harder. Especially when it comes to dirt lions, because they pull tricks, they hit bluffs, they switch from good trailing conditions to bad conditions. Jared can trail from a ridge to a wash and go 90 miles an hour to 2 miles an hour. And then they push through it. 2 hours later, we're back to 90 miles an hour because of the scent conditions, which is something that is hard. Not like when you're running a hawk coon is boom, 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 boom. A lion, it can be 2 hours old and he hits a rough trailing patch of shitty sand. You're going to trail it like it's 10 hours old.
Yep.
And
That's why I like
what's hard.
That's why I like my eastern dogs, though, because like them bitches will hit that and make a loose and just start blowing circles till they find it again. It doesn't always work, but it's worked twice. So
And so that honestly, in
The
a
more they
good
do
dry
it, though,
down,
the better
in
they
a
get.
good dry ground dog, that's brains. If they hit a rough
Yeah.
spot, they're gonna circle. They're gonna circle bigger. Then they're gonna circle bigger, and they're gonna figure out the lose.
Yes,
And
like you go to
go ahead, Jared.
you go to snow hunting in the desert country, northern Arizona, Nevada, southern Colorado, New Mexico. Snow doesn't last very long, right? So you watch dogs that hunted those half snow, half dirt conditions, kind of sloppy, muddy conditions. They're trailing in the snow like it's, right in front of them, screaming. Then they hit a dirt patch. Those dogs that know what they're doing on a south facing slope and they hit dirt and the track goes to shit, they'll bail down into the canyon, hit the snow again, and go up and down, find the track back in the snow, and take it off again.
You guys are in trouble
Yeah.
now. You guys are in trouble.
I wanna answer that one fellow there. Yeah, I have hunted bears here and hunted them back in West Virginia as well.
I love
Bears
watching
here,
them figure it out in the cliffs.
the bears here are big and they don't tree, and everybody wants to fight. It's not as fun.
Definitely different. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
They're way big.
Let's set this conversation.
Okay,
with
are we?
Derek-
Let's just
Derek
settle it
done-
now. Let's just settle it now. We're
Derek
all
done
right.
poked a beehive.
Derek, you're wrong.
Derek, you're wrong.
I love it. Jared's wrong. Anyway,
Everybody's wrong.
let's get on with old Chris. What you got? What else you got going
Yeah.
tonight?
Oh man, look, I had it written down, and we totally just went off a topic. Period. Like,
Every
well,
time.
thanks, Derek. Derek just
Dude,
threw it the
Derek
wrong
lit
way.
a fire and just threw dynamite in it. It was like,
Yep.
screw you guys. I'm gonna piss everyone off but Benny, and I'm gonna let Benny sit there like this and laugh
Yep.
because that's what Benny does.
Let's give Benny the last word. Benny,
Go for it, Benny.
What do you
let's
got?
Let's hear some straight wisdom.
wisdom.
I think that if the dogs are working for you and you're happy with what you're doing, good enough. If they're not, make some changes. That's all there is.
Period.
Everything is an individual, whether it's the dog, whether it's the conditions, whether it's the hunter. And if it works for you, who cares?
I'm gonna mail Benny a mic so he can just hold it out and drop
drop
it,
it.
and we
Gold.
can move on.
Golden.
Benny,
Gold.
just drop it because that's what he does every time. All right, Chris. Thank you, Benny. I truly enjoy Benny's knowledge. Him and I talked on the phone the other day for 45 minutes, and all it was he just called me to say, "Hey, I heard you wanted to hear about some country. This is my knowledge," and I was writing notes like crazy. There's 3 pages of notes of just stuff that he just dropped knowledge that I was grateful for and I will use. And that's an essence that I love the hound hunting community for, is they will support each other time and time again, especially when someone needs it. And
Yep.
I truly enjoy that.
Well, I
With
think
that-
that's what we had this discussion, and there was all kinds of comments. Everybody had their opinion, and that's just how it is. And you can take a little piece of everything and either use it or discard it. Period.
and we're all still good. I'll still sit down with Jared and have a beer, even though he hunts black and tans. Like I pick on him all the time. I'll still sit down with Derek, even though he's
What do you want,
goofy and
Black Dog?
he's
Even
got
though
a
the back
sweet-
east is better than us.
Yeah.
he's got a sweet mustache, but he's a coon guy. I'll still sit down with him. Like I'm good.
And we'll
I'd
go-
love to sit
we'll
down
go-
with Benny one day face to face and have a drink. Like I would
You know,
love it.
If Derek if you would have the opportunity to hunt with somebody that is
Not
well
Chris.
known and no, I'm in the lion hunting community. If you could go hunt with some of these guys that other people talk about, you would see the difference in their breeding understanding versus everybody that says it's a 50-50 crapshoot.
Yeah,
That's all.
I
And
agree.
and I'd love to have that opportunity, but hell, them guys won't even talk to you.
Ah, we'll get
Just
you
got to
there.
know the right people.
We'll get you there. You know, that's
We'll go.
It takes time.
We'll go as far even to lower ourselves so low that we'll talk to Robert, the snow hunter. That's how low we'll
Oh
go.
man, you can't even see him. He's
No,
hiding.
no,
in the
I know he's
background.
hiding in the dark.
Hey,
Look
it
at
looks
he-
like he's on
I
one
wanna
of those.
I wanna say to this fella's here comment. I thought I was gonna come out here and tear up the bobcat. There's so many. Son, you can't catch them. It's so dang hard.
Yeah.
It's a bad deal.
Even come to the snow country and try to catch all those. It's not an easy thing at all.
Yeah,
No,
the
snow ain't easy.
bobs
We
are
give
a
we
tough
give
deal
Robert
out
a
here.
tough time, but that snow is no joke.
And it can be, and it's. I think it's more kind of game specific. You know, you can
That's
run
why
a
I had to-
line that.
That's why I had to go with blue ticks and black and tans because those walkers just don't cut it in the snow.
You can't see them.
Here goes another fight.
You
Here we go.
get a line that just runs true in trees. Awesome. You get another one that'll pull tricks. She'll hit ledges. She does circles. She does backtracks. It's all so specific to the certain animal you're running. But also,
And then
that's
they'll
what
turn their scent off. And then what? You know.
you had. God damn it.
Yeah,
Then you
Yeah,
just have to go
yeah.
home.
we can't go there.
No,
We got to get. Let's get.
we're
Yeah,
we're
let's
good.
go to our.
Chris, I'm gonna. Yeah,
We
I'm
have
out.
some ideas. I had to mute Benny. We got to get Madison a good mic or earphones because she echoes real bad. Can you guys hear it when I unmute her? So your dad needs to buy you a good set of headphones and a laptop,
Yeah.
Madison.
What? That's
Real quick, the reason we brought Madison on is because I want to do what are we gonna call it? Like the AWDA, which is the Arizona Working Dog Alliance, wants to start doing some projects. One of them is going to be the mentor program. I've done a little social media on it. I would love to dedicate a page on the Arizona Working Dog Alliance to where if you're like from Louisiana and Jeremy wants to volunteer to take some kids hunting that want to get into it, then he'll be listed on the page in Louisiana. And if someone wants to go hunting in Louisiana and someone's saying, hey, I'll take a kid hunting. So I want to kind of make that a network for the kids. The other thing I got,
awesome.
yeah, and another thing I got is I want to do some. I called it the like AWDA sponsor a youth program, and that's why I'm bringing Madison on because what I want to try to do as a pilot program, she's our guinea pig, is I want to raise some money.
So, Chris, before you get there, can she tell her story? I would love to hear, like, from her on her journey with hounds and where she's at. Because
I feel like she just got real anxious and nervous too. It looked like she bit her lip.
If it's not okay, Madison, if you don't want to talk, that's fine. But
she'll talk.
I would love to hear it. I would.
Okay. Well, it started when I was around 12 years old. Me and my dad were looking for some hounds for me. And we went and we had a walk fair in Idaho, and we went to go pick up two pups, and they were going to be my hounds. And he pretty much told us a story about how he couldn't really take care of the whole litter, so we ended up going home with 6 puppies, the whole litter. And we named them all, trained them up, got rid of some of them, and I ended up with Pinky and Skeeter, my first 2 hounds, and they were both females. And from then on, I've only I've tried to stick with the female hounds just because I see how the males are at the tree, and I don't really want an aggressive hound. But now I got a male hound. But I worked from getting rid of Pinky, and I gave her to a kid on a reservation, I believe in Browning. And he trained multiple mountain lions with her, still has her, and I have Skeeter still, and then I'm taking Opal, who I got from Brett, and I'm gonna train her up real good for mountain lion, and then I got a little male pup named Boone from California. He looks exactly like Opal, but that would be my first male pup I have.
Okay.
Now,
So
and the only thing that stops Madison is she's not 16 and has her own driver's license and vehicle right now.
Yeah.
That's it. Because they'd have to report her as a runaway if she had her license card.
how
what
long
we're trying to
till you're
do.
16?
How long till you're 16, Madison?
That would be next year. I'll be 15
There you
this
go.
year.
So what I want to do for Madison is raise money, and I'm not raising money for the AWDA or anything else. Any money we raise is going to go to trying to get her some equipment of her own. And she's going to be our pilot project, see how it goes, and then we'll start doing some nominations for other youth hunters to get them behind some dogs. Whether there's that, do you know a lot about the Great American Hound giveaway? I think we've had them on before, and they give away hounds. They have to write essays and
The hound pup giveaway. Yeah.
yes. Well, we want to do equipment, and that's why we're teamed up. Not us, Arizona Working Dog Alliance, teaming up with Cold Strike Gear to try to get her own equipment, like a GPS or holster for the GPS, some collars. That way, her dad don't steal all her locations off of his that he lets her borrow, because they're sharing one right now. So we're kind of, if anybody's interested, to throw some
Chris,
money.
So what you're after is Madison needs her own GPS. She needs her own collars, maybe some leashes, some other stuff for her own dogs, right?
That's exactly what it is. What do you need, Madison? Like you and your dad are sharing a GPS right now.
So
I'm sharing
be honest.
garden collars, leashes, just about everything down to a collar you could buy from the what's it called? Gun supply, gun dog supply.
Gun dog supply.
So even just regular collars to put on your dog with your name and your phone number, you're in need of, right? Okay. So
how do we do taking any kind of inventory of educated suggestions? Is anybody willing?
Let me interject for on Madison's behalf.
Please do.
I have not run into a young person, and especially a young gal, that's got the fire that Madison has. Mm-hmm. She has so much fire and desire. She's homeschooled, and I'm thinking that she could do her schoolwork in about an hour and a half and spend the rest of her life following those dogs. Madison, there was a question on here. How much time do you spend with your dogs? You're in charge of all the dogs right now. So how much time do you spend with everybody's dogs?
So with all the dogs all together, I spend at least half an hour with them in the morning. And then if I am not running errands with my mom, I will take about 3 of my pups out and maybe a bigger dog. And I'll let them walk around and see if we can find any tracks or anything. But like they said, I don't really got a license, so I can't just let him go on a mountain lion track or a raccoon track if I wanted to, because I don't got a truck to go get him up onto the tree. But I'm willing to hike up with the dogs. I'm willing to do everything that it takes to get the cat, and I'm still trying.
And and I said money, but me and Dustin were talking. If there's people that have old equipment that aren't using it, a 200, even 100. You know, the only reason I would like to get her something is where she can tag. I don't know if the hundreds will. Can you track 100 with a 200 or a 300?
Yeah.
You can't
Oh.
track the 100, but the 100 can track the 2 and 300.
Yeah.
I would love this. I would love it where her dad could track her too as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
just in case.
So with that, I don't mean to precede anything else you're trying to go over, Chris, but not from Cold Strike, but from myself. I have some TT15Xs that are not being used. They're not brand new, but they're collars I've used and hunted with. That's just a TT15X that I'm not using now. I would like to send one to her if that's okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I saved money, but if we got equipment, that's great. If we raised $1,000, that's great. If we raised $100, we'll buy leashes. So I'd like to. What we'll have to do is build some sort of time frame. Let's say take the month of April, anything we can get in April, and then we'll move on to another youth in May. Does that sound like something doable?
That's amazing. That's honestly one of the best ideas I think you've ever had.
It's our youth. It's our youth.
If you know me and you know what my business is about, my business is built on family. Plain and simple. It's built on me and my kids because I want my kids to have a future in this world. And so something like this really it
every time.
I
think he does it on purpose, guys. I know. He just tugs at your heart and just stops.
So I really it pulls at my heartstrings, and I care because the youth are the future of what we're doing, and that's why we fight. That's why the AWDA was born, was because we wanted to preserve what we have now for our youth. It doesn't matter in any state, plain and simple, any state. We want the youth to keep going, and plain and simple, I'll do what I can myself, but also as a business to help this go forward.
Now, what do you have for hiking and hunting gear? Like, do you have leg gaiters?
Boots?
Yeah,
Yes.
Madison. You're the star of the show. Who else are we talking to here? Come on now, keep up.
So I'm mainly winter. I hunt in the winter mainly right now. So I'm hunting with snowshoes, snow pants, from the basic, gloves for shooting a shotgun. I got pretty much all the gear that I need for myself personally to go out and hunt in the snow.
Okay, because that's a big thing. Because in the snow, when everything gets wet, everything sucks.
Well, let me stop you right there because you're kind of moving out of the snow there, are you not, Madison?
Summer gear.
She's gonna need some good hiking boots.
Arizona.
She's gonna need a pack that has a camel in it. You know, a water.
Don't get a Camelback.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Carry water, like the big plastic water jugs, because Camelbacks after a season, they're a pain in the butt to clean and they stink.
Don't listen to Jared. He don't even drink water.
He don't carry water.
The reason it stinks is because he has water in it for a year and he don't drink.
I use them. I love it. I use them every time.
You have to keep them clean. You have to keep them clean.
Yeah.
Then he puts beer in it.
His wife's getting rid of all of his packs anyway.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna check out. Madison, tell them everything you need. And Chris, this is a great idea. Guys, I enjoyed it.
All right.
See you later.
Thanks. Thank you, Benny.
See you, Benny.
There we go.
So, I mean,
Sarah's getting rid of Jared's hiking pack, giving it to him.
This is all Sarah's.
So, like I say, any
Why is it only every time he speaks? He don't freeze unless he speaks.
Right.
Right.
Look,
Dude.
he's gonna come back mad. Watch him. He's coming back mad.
Anyways, anybody that has something that's not money, message Chris, tell him what you've got, and we can do it. If it's money, send it to Chris. We'll figure it out. If you guys
Yep.
want to get her a handheld, work it through Chris. I will do my best to make it happen. I truly this is something I want to be behind. Like I've always been behind the AWDA and supporting like the raffles and stuff, but a youth thing is something that really like lights a fire in my soul because of my
Look.
kids.
Wayne asked me, I said, hey, I'm using your daughter up tonight as a guinea pig. And he says, for what? I said, you got to watch the show, buddy. So what I'll do is I'll get with Madison. I got her number now. We'll get a list together. Like I said, whether we raise $20 or someone donates or we raise $10,000, none of it's going to us. Nothing's going to us. Not the AWDA, not Chris's Dr. Pepper that Madison's going to owe him when I come to where they live and hunt. So it's all going to Madison. And this is a pilot program. I want this to work because we're going to model it and fix it. But our youth is dwindling. That's the problem is we have anti-hunters being born every day. And no one's taking these kids that don't have a father or maybe a family or an opportunity to hunt. Say it, Madison. You got something to say.
Honestly, I gotta thank you. I mean, I'm really thankful for what you're doing. I didn't really expect to be used as a guinea pig for that. More of hunting type sort, but you know, I really appreciate what you're doing, and you know, thank you.
No problem. Well, like I said, how it will work it, you're gonna be the base of how it works and how it's gonna work, period. You're the foundation of it. So give me a list, and I'm sure everybody knows what we need. You know, I already have people sending stuff. And if you send money, just put on there Madison. Just put Madison in the comments.
All of us have started into hounds at one point or another.
Damn it. Tim busted me. I'm only doing it for one reason. And that's me. Chris wants some of them cooked Cody King got.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get this going. It's kind of part of the mentor program too, but you're back.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna work out. I think I'll do my legislative boring part that I hate so much, but honestly, if you guys want to nominate somebody, if you guys know somebody that wants to hunt really bad and can't get out, just send me an email, azwda.com or go to azwda.com. You can message me there. Or you can email me at azwda. Let me put it up there so people can read it.
Just however you can find Chris, please do.
And Madison, we're gonna make you a hunter.
I don't think you gotta make her nothing, Chris.
Well, we're gonna make you a better hunter than Jared. That's what we want. That's our goal. So you can catch more lions than Jared.
You didn't see her at the rendezvous. Her and that local dog went all over that mountain.
Yep. Good segue. Rendezvous, azhhr.com. August 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Madison will probably be there because they'll be living closer now.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna be there at the rendezvous. I have to.
That's awesome. I look forward to it.
Well, there you go, Madison. We appreciate you coming on for sure. And then throw a list together, email it to me. If anybody thinks she needs something, we all know what we need. You know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we can get her own handheld, I'm gonna send her a collar. If people have some other collars or want to donate a collar, get with Chris, get with me. I will do my best
Yep.
to make it happen. Anything from Cold Strike that I can get that way,
March.
I will, for sure.
We're gonna use her as our April girl. She's gonna be our April sponsor girl. But we're just starting it early because the idea came to my head. I sent it to all of us that's on the AWDA, and I said, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And everybody said, "Okay." So that's what we're gonna do.
One thing
Madison-
I will say, because
Yeah.
Chris won't, all of you, please share this with everyone you know, because Chris is
Oh,
horrible. Chris,
Hey, I got
he
a
doesn't-
list. I'm
Hey.
working on it.
he doesn't say it enough, but the more you share this and the more
Yes.
you spread this to help these youth out is greatly appreciated. Plain and simple.
TikToks, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, your neighbor. You know, you guys back east, your hunting clubs. You know,
Please.
and it's not just here. If you guys got someone anywhere, let us know.
Exactly.
And-
like a kid that hunts back east that needs help, I would love to help him.
Yeah, we really need to get more people my age into hunting, because if we don't, it's either going to die off or all these antis are going to get in the way. And they already are trying. So,
Man, she's been hanging out with Benny too long. Madison, you want to drop that mic? Drop it.
Randy Rigg, Young, Arizona. Go to azhhr.com or go to azwda.com. It's on there too. There's a link, and it's going to be in, and all the details are kind of right there. As far as where we at? New Mexico. That's the New Mexico Hound Association. Oh, he has some stuff to talk about. We have to get him on next week and talk about that.
Yeah, that's a good
and
thing.
everybody, he just asked if she had her own dog box and all that stuff. I don't think no kid has their own stuff. So when they get it and it's theirs, it's
Sure
theirs.
she does, Chris.
Yeah, she has all the dogs she takes from her dad. She did get her own dogs at the rendezvous.
I did.
Yep.
Yes, I did.
So she has the
As far
dogs.
as dog box, I do not have that. I build my dog boxes with my dad.
Yeah, we seen your dog boxes. We're gonna get you a dog box.
The wooden ones.
Okay. Just, and
No
then
offense,
listen.
Wayne.
No, listen. When I get you a dog box, I'm gonna take your dad's dog box and we're gonna burn it at the rendezvous because it was all wood. Yes, no, we're burning it.
Burn my
Just
resident
like Burning
dog
Man.
box?
I guess you could keep it for.
It's alright. I already
Smart.
destroyed it. I need to build a
Hey,
new one anyway.
don't worry, Madison. His is falling apart too.
Hey, my one. No, I got a new one. I built that one. Oh yeah, it
he
is. I have to re-weld. I'm not a welder.
He welded it. Don't,
Older he is.
well, Madison will
Yeah.
let somebody else build it, not Chris.
Yep.
We'll let Bone Pile build it. He's a welder. So there you go.
Eh,
There you go, Madison. We're gonna set you up.
Yeah, I can't say enough how much I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna get off here because my mom just finished dinner. But I
Well, you can say
appreciate
what with a recipe and cookies. That's all I'm saying. I promise I'll share them if you send them to me.
No, you won't.
Oh,
Yeah,
You're
you-
fair.
You're probably
Just does
right.
one with his left hand with his right hand is
I
what he'll
don't know if
do.
y'all
Yeah.
ever seen any of his little feral kids. You know, he
I
he's
have-
got to hide them out.
They're probably not watching. I have Oreo cookies in my room hidden for me.
He's
The only
got
person-
stuff in your truck hidden from them
I
kids.
do. I do. All under my
What-
seats, and they find it.
When you breed like rabbits, that's your own problem.
That's my
I'm
wife's
just
fault.
saying.
She throws litters.
No, no.
litters, man.
that-
I was just poking fun. She took me serious.
oh,
We better kick
Anyways.
Madison off now. It's getting
Anyways.
crazy. Madison, thanks for coming on. Stay in
Thank
touch
you.
with me. You got my number. All right. Later, Madison. That's
that
someone
mine?
who's going to appreciate it, and that's someone who's going to use it.
that is
Was that my
what-
dog you're petting, Jared?
You bet.
That Chris, that is why I started what I do. That is why I
Yep.
got into business what I do, because of kids, because of hound hunting, but also because of the community and the way that they support that they do. For the love of God, please don't cut
Yeah.
out. I just like to me, that is
It's not
that
fun
is
here.
that's what's in my core. It's kids and hound hunting and passing it on and being able to do what we do that way. When Chris called me with this, I was no question all in. I said, I will put together whatever. If people donate money, I will put together what I need to get her what
Yep.
she needs. Plain and simple.
Yep. Good. Now let's go down the line real quick. I have a damn list.
I see Sarah
Okay.
went put the puppy up.
Yeah, for one, we got an alpha raffle going on right now. If you guys want to, it's 40 spots. I think we have 19 or 20 took up. If you want to win the Alpha XL, a 300 or 200 with a collar, a 3 TT25s, or $1,100 cash, azwda.com. Get in now because those usually go pretty quick.
Or
3
donate it back to her.
TT25s or donate back to. Are you doing the 25s too, or just the 15s?
So
No,
so
well, if you want
15s
15s,
no,
or
no,
they discontinuing them.
The 15s are discontinued.
Okay.
I only have 2 left. If you want those 2 and a 25, I'll do it. But Garmin is not producing more 15s.
So it's 25s, guys. 25s.
Yeah.
It's a good raffle. Jared, let's talk about the raffle real quick because Dustin's been getting some emails saying, hey, is this even a real raffle? To our far right, Robert snuck in on that raffle.
Both these two.
Let me tell you that raffle. We had a dog box raffle. Gene Morris, which I have not seen him here tonight.
I know. I was hoping to tell him thank you.
Yeah. He threw a dog box back in. We did a super quick raffle, 20 spots. A lot of people jumped in. Robert won. He won what do you take? You took the 300, right?
The 300 with the collar.
300,
300
and a dog
with
box.
a TT25 and a dog box.
Yeah.
Now, Evan Anderson won the first alpha raffle we did, and because Jared, I don't know, looks helpless, gave it to Jared.
Looks.
I don't know.
I mean, we all love it. We all love a special kid in our life.
Yeah, we always have to have those short bus guy.
Just
It was
So
a treat. He
so he
always
got
homeless.
that raffle.
he's just
He
got,
got that
smile.
raffle. Yep.
That's right.
So there are
Jared,
raffle winners.
What did Jared? What did you pick?
I got the 300 with a collar with a 25.
Have you been
Because
using
why?
It? You like the 300?
Honestly, I carry my 10 right here on my, and my 300 I leave in my backpack. So when the dogs make a lose, I just look at my 300 and kind of play the track out in my head where the dogs are already checked.
Just wanted
You got
to know.
a map card in it?
Yep. No, it doesn't have a card in it.
I
You
still
gotta
got
get a
his,
map card.
I got all these look. Honestly, I would go with what Garmin is doing now instead of the map cards. They're doing something similar to Onyx, which is their I forget the name of it, but it's like an online subscription, and the maps are better.
Okay.
You're gonna get not just one state.
I can't remember the name of that one. I know
you're gonna get multiple. So instead of buying a Hunt View or their Maps Plus stuff, get online and do the subscription for their. I think I'm gonna slaughter the name, and it's really pathetic because I should know, but it's an online thing versus a chip, and I think it's a lot better.
Is it a download?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that work for the 200s also, Dustin? Or is it just 300?
So it should work for the 200s. I just know that like the new Alpha XL and stuff like that, people used to buy the Onyx chips, but those won't work now with the newer stuff coming out. Garmin is kind of trying to niche their market down. So you can either buy their chips or you do like the online version, which gives you access, but the online version is a lot better. It's not state specific, if I can say that. So I would try that, Jared. I would really look into that.
Okay.
Is that
I
download
gotta
going to slow your
update.
handheld down the
I
way
think I have
that
to update my 300 because I lose dogs within 800.
You have
yards.
to update it now and the callers when you get
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
I had that problem. I got a new one. I made a call and the dude's like, "Hey, did you update it?" And you think it's brand new out of a box, but update it. Just get
It's
it
sitting in
updated.
the box. Yeah.
So it's their Outdoor Maps Plus plan is what it is.
Okay.
That's what it's called, is Outdoor Maps Plus.
Okay.
you need to get an extended range antenna too, Jared. Like
I
you know,
have
got
14.
Yeah.
Doesn't 29.
You too. Jerk.
I love how she calls you on your
Yeah.
shit. She's like my favorite person.
Dude, all right. So she's gonna call me out. I'm calling her out right now.
Whatever he says is a lie.
So,
Dude, I'm gonna
I
call
am
her out
not-
for marrying you. Just saying.
right? So, my buddy had a bear tag in Nevada.
Uh-oh.
I do not move fast in the morning. So I wake up a half hour before everyone and I drink my coffee. I drag my feet. Well, Sarah does not move slow in the morning. She's up and she's mad that she's awake. So she's loading up all my dog collars and everything. And I load up the dog and we leave. And my buddy finds a bear track. We dump dogs loose. And I look at Sarah and I'm like, hey, where are the dogs at? And she's going through the gear bag. And she's like, I left your handheld at home.
Oh.
So now I have 7 dogs out with $400 or $350 necklaces.
Madison's back. What, Madison?
Was fine.
Yeah, no, we did. My buddy had his dogs there too. So I was like, well, hopefully they all just make it with my buddy's dogs. And they
Yeah,
did, but
hopefully.
yeah. Oh man, I still don't let her live that one down though.
Madison, you came back. What's up?
I mean, I just had to appreciate you guys one more time for what you're doing. I mean, I'm really excited for the opportunity you guys are giving me, and I just didn't think I thanked you guys enough the first time. But I also wanted to send you some of my cookies that I sent Cody King.
I'll
I'm gonna
text
need a
you.
PO box number from you.
I'll text you my address.
Okay.
You're gonna send them to my house, Chris. I'll bring them to you. I'm closer to both.
I'll see you Monday. I'll share them with you.
There you go. There you go.
We appreciate it, Madison.
That's
Yeah, you're
awesome.
welcome. I really appreciate you doing what you're doing.
Well,
That means a lot. It means a lot that you came back just to say thank you. It truly does.
I mean,
It's not a big thing in your generation to be appreciative like that.
No.
And it speaks a lot.
yeah, I mean, you gotta show your appreciation to everybody.
it's not a big thing in her generation to have drive. What are you talking about?
No.
Getting people to
Agree.
get off their phones and, you know.
Yep, I agree.
Just put it to good use, Madison.
I think it's because they don't know about it, because as soon as I tell somebody my age what I do and how much fun it is, they want to know how they can get out in the woods. They want to know if I can take them, when I can take them, next time I'm going. And I'm like, slow your horses. You didn't want to go, you didn't know about it, and all of a sudden you want to go. Have you even been? Like, do you know what it's like? And you're not guaranteed to catch anything every time, so.
There you go. Pay it forward. Pay it forward, right?
Education and inspiration, right there.
Yep.
I love it.
Awesome.
Thank you, Madison.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You gonna stay on? Are you allowed to stay on or what?
Oh yeah, I am. I mean,
She turned down food to come back.
Well, yeah. That's why she doesn't look like the rest of her.
Let's see. So the raffles are real. I promise you guys. Anybody who thinks the raffles aren't real, the raffles are real.
I told Chris he's got to start posting winners because people are messaging me being like, "Did he give away it?"
Yeah.
They got cold feet
So
about it.
we have Full Cry, Jason Doobie. So listen, if you guys want to get
Good
Full Cry,
feller.
15% off. I have a page that says Full Cry on AWDA.com, and I'll get you 15% off. Now, Jason, he's given us a book, and it's from the 50s. I don't remember what year, 54, 52, and it's a hardback book that we're gonna raffle off. So I'm just showing you guys this now because
When's that raffle gonna be?
I don't know. We got so much stuff going on. That's why I was telling Dustin today. I said, man, it's a hardback book. This is like a book from the day. This ain't just like a reprint from 2025. This is kind of a cool old book. And sooner or later, you're not going to be able to find these books. So I don't know. I don't know how we're working it yet. I don't know if we're going to do spots. I don't know. Me and Jason had worked something out with it. And he has other books we're going to do. So this is the first one he's given me to do. So
That's a good book.
It's a good
yeah.
book.
And it just looks cool. It just looks like it's from the 50s, like it's a hardback, cool book. It ain't signed.
That's the book that made me move out here.
Yep. So we will be raffling this book off as soon as we all get together and kind of figure it out. I don't think it's going to be much. I have kind of a goal to try to make. So it might just be $10 raffle. It might be a $20. I don't know if I'm going to do spots. I think I'll run it for a little bit, see how many I can get in it. And that's going to be money made for the Arizona Working Dog Alliance. And the reason it's going to be, we need the money right now is because April 11th, we have to go back to the commission meeting for the Arizona Game and Fish because there's certain organizations that decide that they think they can just tell us we can't do what we love because they don't like to do it. And I heard who I think it was Dan Gates. I listened to his podcast and he said those people never knew lions were here like they were until social media. And that's the truth. That is the truth. No one knew that there was so many lions and there were so many being harvested until social media.
That's the hard part for our way of life and even hunting just in general. Is social media is a great tool, but is also our own worst enemy. And that's what's hard. That's what's hard for me is because as a business, that is what I use to grow. That is what I use to reach people. But at the same point, that is the same thing that is killing my way of life.
Mm-hmm.
So
what were we thinking on that? People are starting to ask me about the slash hounds already. I was honestly thinking like $10 a ticket or 5 for $45.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's what you were saying. Yeah, when we went for that.
So that's probably what we'll do, guys. $10 a ticket, 5 for $45. I will put it up on the AZWDA page, and I'll make some TikToks, and I'll share it on all the Facebook stuff. So $10.
Just
$10.
Make sure. And this
in the
is
comments.
Just me. This is just me echoing Chris. Whatever you send money to, make sure you say what it's for. Whether it's for the raffle, whether it's for Madison, whether it's for the Alpha XL.
Mm-hmm. This is why I was trying to keep it not so many going on, but I tell you what.
It's hard. It's hard because Chris, he has so much going on and he cares so much constantly. We have conversations of like, oh, we could raise money doing this, or we could have a program about youth, or we can help this guy out this way, or this guy out this way, or we can do this. And it's so hard to keep it all straight and not just throw it all together.
Yeah. So if there is a problem, if there is something you guys put in and you don't feel like you got put in, just email me, man. Just azwda.com. Just go there, send me a message. Say, hey man, did I get in the now on the credit card stuff? I tried to do this big program to where I wasn't having to really do it manually because we were getting kind of big, and they kicked me out. They deleted my stuff, and I called Dustin. I said, hey man, what is this? He goes, I have no clue. So I'm trying to make it work a little simpler. Right now I run them manually, which is okay because I'll call the people sometimes and say, hey, a guy ran it 3 times on a credit card. I said, hey, you ran this 3 times. He says, yeah, heck, run it anyways. What's another $50? So he got put in 3 times on that raffle. So if you do want to put in on it, and if you do go to any of those, just put in the comments or the subject or the message what you're giving the money for. Madison, the Alpha XL, or the /Hound book. But I'll build a page on that.
Or all of it.
Or all of it. Or you just want to donate. Like I said, we have to go back to the commission, and it takes money, guys.
Yep. And heck, we'll be in New Mexico next week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Derek will go to New Mexico next week to the what is it? It's called the workshop. It's a mountain lion workshop.
It's the Western Association for Fish and Wildlife Agencies Mountain Lion Workshop.
Yep. And Chris and Derek are headed to New Mexico. I'm headed to Utah. Then I'm headed to Idaho for banquets, not only for myself, but to represent the AWDA at other states as well. So the ADWA or AWDA, I swear, has donated a collar to these other states.
Oh yeah, yep.
Banquets. They have donated a TT25 to the Utah banquet and the Eastern Idaho banquet to help them raise money for their cause as well. Like, we're trying to spread it everywhere we can.
Yep. Got to stick together, guys. Got to stick together. I think that's it. I think.
I am reading the Red Fern Grows right now. We're in the middle of the book. Good part.
Good for you.
Yep.
Good bet.
Don't you go crying in the end, like we all did.
One.
I did.
Like we all did. Yeah.
You ought to read that. You ought to read that /Ranch Hounds too when you get time. It's a good book.
That is.
Yep.
That's one of my favorites. That and the Dale Lee book as well.
Yep. So Jason Doobie is helping us out because Jason Doobie don't work for W no more. He works for Cold Strike Gear now. Oh wait, I wasn't supposed to let that out. I'm just kidding, buddy. I'm just kidding. This will probably be on W podcast. I'm kidding. I promise.
I'm gonna get a phone call from a buddy calling me all sorts of names.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this in for next week. I'm gonna send this one in for next week just so he can hear it. Well, do we got anything else? Anything else to add to any of this? We had a crazy discussion, and we're all still friends. Well, us are. Derek, he's going to be.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this might be my last episode, guys. They're going to pick me off.
He's kind of on the outside. We'll see.
He's not a board member no more. He's a janitor at Arizona Working Dog Alliance. He's a dog pooper scooper.
Yeah.
Madison, we appreciate you coming on. I'm sorry to kind of throw you in the spotlight there and not tell anybody what we're doing, but I don't think you mind.
Not really, not much. I mean, I really do appreciate what you guys are doing, though. I mean, I can't say it enough.
All we want is pictures in return of you hunting your dogs.
Your first lion, all that good stuff.
Nothing more I would love to see than you with your dogs.
Oh wait, Rick, that is it?
Yeah, no. As soon as I get a cat, I'll send you guys pictures of the cat, the dogs, everything.
Even before, just you spending time with your dogs is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Don't forget to show your dog.
Just this last time I went out with my mom, we drove 2 of our older hounds, Skeeter and Howard, up all the way up to the Canada border, and we drove all the way back.
Good for you. Just
Didn't
spending
see many
spending
bad
time
wolves.
spending time in the woods with your
Yep.
mom and the dogs that's what it's about. Good for you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I guess I'll go be a husband. Pretend I love my wife.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Sitting in here staring at me, give me the evil eye.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Everybody on AWDA.com. I try to keep up with it as much as I can. Any closing statements?
Yeah.
Besides, black and tan suck, and Derek's on his way out.
Yep.
And Derek was
Man,
wrong.
I
if
got to
he
spend
thought I
all
was
week
gonna
with him
side
next
against
week.
y'all.
I tell you what, if Jeremy ain't the prettiest face I've seen on a live, I don't know what's going on.
I know.
Jeremy
I
let me
know.
down.
I
I
have-
thought he was going to have my back.
Well, I'm trying to keep these guys in good company, so still take me hunting.
All right, guys.
I love it. Thank you all.
Next Wednesday, everybody go to azwda.com and see what we got going on. Madison, you're the star.
Okay, you want me to
You're-
show up on Wednesday?
Keep
I'll
them dogs.
probably
in the
send you a
woods.
link.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, guys.
All right.
See ya.
Later.
Later.
Later.